Today, we're going to make Mediterranean chickpea salad. It's a good recipe because it tastes good, it's easy to make, and it makes your life easier, and I'll go more into that later. Hi, I'm Tom from the future, and this is the finished product. So keep watching the video and see how we make it. This could be my thumbnail. So let me explain the backstory behind making this video as I chop up our first ingredient, a pint of cherry tomatoes, which is about 10 to 12 ounces. To start, I've rinsed off these tomatoes. I'm going to cut them in half, put them in this bowl, and tell you a story. Last night, Sunday night, Pam sits down in her chair, excited to watch one of her favorite YouTubers, this young woman who's in North Dakota fixing up a $1 house she bought or something. And Pam's like, oh, it's Sunday night. She comes on every Sunday night with a new episode. And I'm like, really? Every Sunday night? That's cool. And she's like, yeah, that's how you keep your subscribers. You know, you have a schedule. And Pam says, you know, you have literally dozens of subscribers. You should really, you know, put out content regularly. So I guess really Pam is the driving force behind this video. Not only does she want me to make successful videos, but I think she wants a Mediterranean chickpea salad. And who wouldn't? It's quite delicious and it's good for you. But most importantly, like I mentioned earlier, it makes your life easier. Now, how does this make your life easier? This salad is one of those things that when you put it in the fridge, first of all, it keeps for days. So you make it on Monday and you can eat it for the whole week. So that makes your life easier. Second of all, the longer it sits, the better it tastes. It's one of those things that, you know, it sits there and marinates and percolates and whatever else and just tastes better and better. But thirdly, it's more than just like this side salad you can eat. Let's move on to the next ingredient and I'll tell you about that. The next ingredient is half a cup of sliced Kalamata olives. And you might say, Tom, those are not sliced Kalamata olives. And you'd be right. But as a regular viewer, you know the motto in this house is you use what you got. And this is what we got. In fact, there'll be a lot of using what you got in this video. So stay tuned for that. I'll post the real recipe in the description, but this is the modified version. So anyway, half a cup about. So let me measure half a cup. So this is about half a cup. Now, this is not a precise science. So if you like olives, then put in all the olives you want. And if you don't like olives, then, you know, cut back on the olives or leave them out. I think if you leave the olives out, it'll be less of a Mediterranean chickpea salad, but I mean, it's your salad. I'm cutting these into like 3 pieces. Unless it's a small olive, then I'll cut it in 2 pieces. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, having a sharp knife is handy when cutting these things up. Of course, it wouldn't be a chickpea salad without chickpeas. We jarred these ourselves. If you'd like to see how we did it, we made a video on it. It did really well at Sundance this year. I'll leave a link. I think the link's here to the video. So the official recipe is 2 cans, but we're going to go 2 jars. Probably the same thing. So like I said, this is 2 cans or about 30 ounces of chickpeas. Let's mix this up so it looks colorful. But we're not done yet. We're not close to done yet. Next ingredient, an English cucumber. Tom, that's not an English cucumber. You're right, but guess what? We're using what we got, and I don't got an English cucumber. So we're going to peel this, and we'll take the seeds out to make it more English cucumbery, which really leads to that age-old question, which peeler do you use? This one or the correct one? And the answer, of course, is the correct one. If you disagree, you can tell me in the comments, but I won't listen because you're wrong. This is the right way to peel things. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if 1 cucumber is enough. So let's do 1 and see how it looks. And if we need to, we can get another one. Getting rid of the seeds because I don't want it to be too watery. And once again, there's no hard and fast rules. If you really like cucumbers, then throw in a lot of cucumbers. Yes, I went to chef school for this. You can probably tell that I'm a classically trained chef from my knife skills. You know, I think that's enough cucumbers. I think that's good. Next ingredients are a bell pepper and a small red onion. And you're probably sick of watching me chop things, and I'm running out of stories. So I'll just do some amazing special effects and get through this part. Whoa, those special effects are pretty special. Hey kids, tell your grandparents it was AI. Blow their minds. The next two ingredients are fresh basil and fresh mint. But since I don't have any fresh basil and Pam doesn't like fresh mint, so instead we're going to put in a teaspoon of herbe de Provence, or I don't know, it comes with a spoon, so I'm going to put this much in. So we put in the vegetables and the beans and the olives, which I don't think are a vegetable. Now for the dressing. The first ingredient in the dressing is 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And I'm actually going to measure this because I always use too much oil. So let me just be a little bit precise with this. The next is 2 tablespoons of honey. And I'm not going to measure that because, you know, it sticks to the spoon and then you got to scrape it off and then you have to lick the spatula, which actually is starting to sound like a pretty good idea now that I think about it. But really, it's, I don't know. I'm just gonna eyeball it. Remember the first thing I said about this is that it tastes good. 2 tablespoons of honey has something to do with that. All right, get in there, you. The next ingredient is white wine vinegar, but you know what we say here. But like we say, use what you got, and I have apple cider vinegar, which is going to be perfectly fine. So 2 tablespoons. Like I said, I'll put the original recipe in the description if you don't like my willy-nilly ways, but it's going to be okay because we're going to add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, which will take the edge off that vinegar. And I'm not going to measure 2 tablespoons. I'm just going to use a lemon. So let's see, how much is this? That might be 2 tablespoons there. Okay, half a lemon. Whisk it good because you got to get that honey mixed in there. I forgot to put salt and pepper into the dressing. It's just a 1/4 teaspoon, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm going to measure it because with my, I think this is BJ's brand. I'm not going to be able to pour just a 1/4 of a teaspoon out. I'll probably put 2 tablespoons in if I try to pour it. Anyway, 1/4 teaspoon of each. Do a little more whisking. As previously mentioned, the longer this sits in the dressing, the better it tastes. So it's going to taste good now, but tomorrow it'll taste even better. We don't want to waste anything here. And we're done. How good does that look? Hey, so after editing this video, I realized I kind of forgot something. Make your Mediterranean salad more Mediterranean with feta. Just throw some on the top at the end. Remember how at the start of this video I promised that it was delicious, it was easy to make, but it also made your life easier? Let me show you how. Now, as you regular viewers know, I currently find myself between jobs. So one of the things I do to be useful during the day is make Pam lunch. And Pam likes salad for lunch. So normally that involves, you know, the lettuce and greens or whatever, and then carrots and peppers and avocados or whatever I can dig up. Beets, you know about the beets. And I have to prep it and put it all together. But when you have something like this, that's already a salad, making a salad is as easy as dropping some of this delicious Mediterranean chickpea salad on top of the greens. I mean, it's got all this healthy, delicious stuff, and we already put the dressing on. No more shredding carrots or carving out avocados. Just put some of this salad on top of the greens and you're good to go. Look at me, I'm probably the best husband ever. Some croutons to show I went the extra mile. And look, we have all this to snack on or for tomorrow's salad. So give this Mediterranean chickpea salad recipe a try. Let me know how you did. Let me know if you like it.
Super good. I love it.